Hi everyone, we're now in lesson 2 and it is all about paragraph writing. So for this lesson class, let's get to know the ways on how we're going to develop our writing ability. I hope, I hope you will learn something out of this sharing. All right, so let's start. So let's define first what is a paragraph. So a paragraph is a group of sentences expressing a single thought. If you consider how much you already know about the process of paragraph writing in the English language, you should be encouraged to write. You are not attempting to learn something completely new. Anything worth achieving for is seldom a snap. Writing is no exemption. You may need intensive practice. But keep in mind that you will be building on what you have already known. If you are already proficient in grammar, punctuation, and mechanics, paragraph writing may be easier than you expect, for you will be able to focus on developing and organizing your ideas. Okay? So it's helpful, right? So let's go now to the parts of the paragraph. The first one is topic sentence. A sentence that summarizes the content of a paragraph of which it is part of is called topic sentence. Topic sentence is usually found in the introductory part of the paragraph. Topic sentence is sometimes merely implied. A good topic sentence is considered to have unity when it expresses a single complete thought and when it contains information that upholds the thought it expresses. Remember, class, that our topic sentence highlights the content of your essay, so it should be enticing to the eyes of the reader. A good topic sentence class should hook your reader audience to read the rest of your article. So it is really important to establish a good topic sentence. For instance, with this example, there are three reasons why Philippines is one of the best countries in the world, right? So it is really um, intriguing, right? It entices the eyes of the reader to learn more and explore more why the writer says that the Philippines is one of the best countries in the world. So, with the following reasons, so you have there the first one, second one, third, and throughout the last part of the paragraph. So, with this, I am just highlighting to you the topic sentence, right? So that is one example. So let's go now. Supporting details. The paragraph supporting details is also known as the body of the paragraph. It is considered as the main part primarily because it is the part where the substance of the paragraph is found. So it is where you discuss your ideas, topic, sentence that you establish at the beginning of your paragraph. So it is also where you give your analysis, statistics to prove something depending on the topic that you are writing. It is where the essential uh, parts of a paragraph are being discussed and expounded. The content is basically established in the body of the paragraph. This part must be developed in a tailored manner simply because this part defines the message of the topic. So let's go back to the same example, right? So we say that there are three reasons why Philippines is one of the best countries in the world. So the first reason is that Philippines is made up of more than 7,000 islands and over 60,000 kilometers of coastline. So a while ago, I was talking to you about statistics. So this is one example, making it as one of the largest archipelagos in the world. Each of these islands is so unique, with something special to offer, from never-ending stretch of white sandy beaches to the colorful array of waterfalls. Second, the Filipino people are considered as the friendliest people in the world. The Filipinos are also known to be hospitable individuals who will still be happy to share to anyone whatever they have. Lastly, the Philippines and its people value education. Students are taught by well trained teachers and are encouraged to continue studying at university. As a result, the Philippines is a desirable place to live, right? So that's how the writer expresses his ideas in a coherent manner, right? It's a kiss, like KISS. Keep it short and simple. So that is also one techniques that you need to have for you to write, especially those who are beginner. Okay, so let's continue. Conclusion. The ending part of a conclusion of a paragraph is also very important. The concluding part could sum up the entirety of your message. You may opt to end your paragraph with a quotation marks, general statement, or a question, perhaps, to encourage your audience. It is also essential to signal through keywords that you are winding up your paragraph. Transitional devices are helpful in order to indicate the termination of the address. Some transitional devices you might use in the concluding part include as a result, to sum up with, in summary, in a nutshell, finally, in conclusion, and a lot more. All right, so that's how you end. You can also end something, a phrase, a sentence that could make the audience ponder, okay, something to live by. So that is also one technique. Then, example here, right? So the same content. So here you notice the writer says that as a result, the Philippines is a desirable place to live, right? So it summarizes the entirety of the message of the paragraph. Okay. So there are four stages of writing process. The first one is pre-writing. The first stage of writing is simply setting forth ideas in whatever shape or form that is handy for you, like fragments or making a list or sentences. In my case, are you familiar with mind map? So I do mind mapping. I usually make lists of words, phrases that I wish to write or include in my writing. So the purpose of pre-writing is to get ideas down on your paper. So that's what I usually do before I write a certain article. It includes exploring ideas, choosing a topic, determining audience and purpose, deciding on the main idea, developing, organizing, supporting details effectively. That is really useful. According to William Faulkner, once said, a writer needs three things: experiences, observation, and imagination. That is really important. Any of two, which at times anyone can supply the lack of others. Your experiences are really important. What you see, what you observe around you, the things around you, and what you imagine can help you engross into writing, right? You cannot write. They say that you cannot write, you cannot share what you do not have. Okay, so depending on the likes, the interest that you have, explore it, then share it to others through writing. You can take amusing, unusual, or perhaps ordinary incidents and transform them, right? Making them a more fruitful, a thoughtful reflection into essays. Okay? Still, some students are reluctant to write because they do not know how to begin. Do you agree? So that could be a challenging on your part. They can also help to divert the flood of anxiety that sometimes overwhelms writers, especially if you let your instructors write. Okay, sometimes some students would complain, and then fear. They have their fear in here that they have in mind that I don't know how, I don't understand, I don't know how to start, something like that. Okay, so when an instructor assigns a paper, does your stomach contract into a tight knot? If it does, remember that you are not alone. Some writers carry a heavy bundle of anxiety that impedes effectiveness of their writing. However, by acknowledging fear and finding the cause, you too can control it. Once you begin pre-writing and place yourself throughout the writing process, chances are your fears will shrink. Okay, so start now. The next one is choosing a topic. Yes, I don't know I don't write because I don't know how to choose a topic. Before you begin writing, you need topics, di ba? Not all ideas that you have come up in your pre-writing can be adequately covered in your paper. So some students would complain, right? If you try to write about a topic that is too broad, you will most likely overgeneralize, lose your way. Generally, the best topics that are Those you find interesting, here are some techniques for exploring your own interests and generating ideas for potential writing topics. Okay, so to avoid complaints, so here are the things that you need to bear in mind. Okay, so this is simply like asking your question to yourself. So, what activities do you like? Okay, so in the Cebuano Visayan language, you ask yourself like, unsay hilig nimo, unsay ganahan nimo. So simply like that. That is simple question that you need to think or ponder for you to start up in writing. What events have happened to you in the past that made you frightened or glad or become wiser, especially in this time of pandemic? What events would you like to have happened in the future? What books, articles, movies perhaps have made an impression on you and why? What people do you know whose lives and stories interest you? What ideas or action have made you angry? And what ideas or actions do you approve of? So, with those questions, this will give you an idea to write. Drafting. In the second stage of writing, you transform ideas into sentences in a semi-organized manner. Here are the purpose is to let your ideas develop, expand, and form links. Drafting is primarily a stage of discovery and exploration. The first draft is the time to experiment with new ideas. The act of writing sentence paragraph often helps suggest points you may have overlooked or more effective focus for the entire topic during the stage. Revising is important as the pre-writing or drafting, and I believe those stages in the writing process are really important. Each part. This is the stage where you check whether you have clearly stated in your topic or main idea. Now, mind you, when you write class, I may call that one free verse in writing, like write whatever comes to your mind regarding the grammar, whatever the grammar it is you are using, the spelling or what, write whatever comes to your mind. Then later on, you do this process. Okay? So that's it. Included substantial supporting details to your main idea. Organize the ideas with a unifying principle such as logical manner, the space and time, especially those students whom I allow them to write my last summer vacation. You're actually making a narrative essay. So, how do you narrate the event and then the time? How do you organize those things? And then the interconnectedness of those ideas. Was it clearly stated? So, that could be also a challenging on your part. In addition, you need to revise your paper in order for you to be able to examine whether each word that you have incorporated in your paper means exactly as you intended it to be understood by your audience or your readers. Remember, one of your readers is me. Okay? Moreover, it is also the stage where you check if the language is appropriate and then intended for the audience in every sentence that you make. And then it should be clear if the length and structure of every sentence um, may vary from one to the other. This is also the process that gives you the opportunity to polish your paper. Then we have editing and proofreading. This is the best part where you edit your paper for possible errors in its structure and grammar. This is the part where you check the paper for misspelled words or misplaced terms. Make sure that the verb always agrees with the subject. That is really important. The consistency with the use of correct tenses of the verb. Remember my last summer vacation, that essay, the title of your essay, usually the action is done in the past. Okay, so if it is in the past, then the rest will be in the past. You also examine the consistency of the verb tense. Editing your paper for any possible errors is essential thing, since a good copy of which is error free adds credibility to your manuscript. Okay, so let's go back again to the following questions here. Okay, so that is why it is important to take time to explore ideas, issues, and experiences that are important to you. To generate a topic, you can use wide variety of strategies, blueprinting, narrowing, listing, and gathering details, which include reporter's formula, hexagonal writing, and timeline. All right. So mind you, it is also best to read some of the journalists' work of art, okay, their output. So in the digital newspaper, try to explore, read those opinion side, and then get to know the manner how the writer writes, and then their style, okay. So that would make you inspired to improve, to write more, and develop your ways of writing. So I think that would be all, and I hope you learned something out of this topic. And then if you have any clarification or question or something you would like to suggest to me, feel free to message me. Thank you very much.